Hello and welcome to Random Things. This is Ty, and in an earlier video you saw that I had unboxed a Bafang mid-drive motor for an e-bike, or for a bike conversion into an e-bike. And so when I unboxed it, you kind of had it all laid out everywhere, but I wasn't sure exactly how it was going to be tied together. And so for this video I'm going to try to lay it out in the equipment and see how the actual wiring would come together. So in a typical e-bike, you have your motor, right? In this case, it's a mid-drive instead of a rear hub drive or a front hub drive. It's a mid-drive, so it goes where the crank is, right? And you have a battery that connects to the motor somehow. So I have to figure that out. And then you have a speed sensor that connects from the motor to the lights controller up on the handlebar, right? And then you also have brake sensors that cuts out the motor when you hit the brakes. And so when I unboxed it, I kind of had it everywhere, and I wasn't sure exactly how they connect to each other. And so let's go ahead and try to connect it and see how that looks. Okay, so I've kind of laid out the various parts. This is the battery. So this is a unit power pack. This is what it comes with. So it has this connector. So the battery. So here's the motor. So here's the electrical. So it does come with a power cable. So luckily it's color coded for dummies like me. So we'll snap that in. And then I guess this, I'll need to put these together. I have to figure out how I'm going to do that. Whether I'm just going to do a end-to-end butt weld or what. So there's that. So that goes together. So I'm just going to leave this aside because this thing is kind of big, so that we can focus on everything else. So that battery looks pretty straightforward. Not really sure what all these things are. So we'll start with, say, this one. Little arrow. And then you have an arrow there. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pin, right? Line the arrows up. Okay. So then this, I think, goes to the controller. Yeah? Let's see. So the controller has this green one. So that's good. The green one is good for dummies like me. Again, arrows to arrows. Okay, and then you have 3 yellow ones, right? And I think the yellow ones are, one of them is the thumb throttle. So that's a female, so I'm looking for the male. So there's 1 male, 2 female, 1 male. So there's that. So that's the thumb throttle. And then these must be the brakes. So then this is each brake. So there isn't an arrow, or there is. It's not painted. It's right there. But there's also a notch in here. And so there's also a notch. If you line the notches up, if you can't see the arrow, you can line the notches up. And hopefully they'll go together. But it doesn't want to. So that means that this does not go there. So where does this go? let's see. No, it has to. It's a 3-pin. In a 3-pin, it's just going to be really tight, I think. Yeah, it does go together. I'm just dumb. You just have to. It's just really tight, so you gotta really push it in. So you have the thumb throttle. Same thing. The other one. One for each brake, I guess. In case you want to. Whew, just use one brake. I would not suggest that. You need to use 2 brakes. Okay. So all this runs towards the handlebars. Okay. So now we're left with, we have the power, right? So we're going to stick it with the power down here. You have this one, which has got a kind of a nut on it. And I believe then that goes to the speed sensor. Lights. Where's the speed sensor? We're going to take a quick commercial break so I can find the speed sensor and then put it together. Okay, we're back. I don't know why, for whatever reason, I did not see the speed sensor, but here's the speed sensor itself. The wire to the speed sensor is not very long, right? So once you mount the motor to the bottom bracket, you got to get this over to the rear spoke, so that then all this does is it goes together and then you screw it in, right? So this goes on the rear spoke and then it catches that magnet as the back tire spins. Okay, so there's the speed sensor, and then this is not sure what that is. Okay, so we have, this is the wiring for the headlight. Alright, so then I'm assuming that's a push-in. I really don't like that. That seems a little flimsy. But that's the lights. So I'm left with one mystery connector. What could it be? Oh. Well, welcome back from commercial break. What I figured out was this is a gear sensor, or it's for a gear sensor. The box didn't come with a gear sensor. I'm not sure if it's supposed to come with one, and I just didn't receive it. So I put a message out to the seller to see if I'm supposed to get one. In the meantime, I've ordered one just in case. It's about $25. So that seems to be missing, much like what was missing in my coffee. So I had to add a little bit of a kick to it. So what a gear sensor does is it senses movement in the cable that shifts the gears. And what it'll do is it'll momentarily cut out the power in the mid-drive motor to allow a smooth shifting. Otherwise, you're cranking so fast it may not let you shift correctly. And so one hack that I actually was talking to a coworker about related to that problem before I knew about a gear sensor was I was going to loosen up the front brake so that when I applied the front brake, it actually wasn't going to actually brake, but rather it will act kind of like a clutch on the motorcycle. So when I apply on the front brake, it will cut out the power momentarily as I shift. Right? So I'm going to shift it like a motorcycle to kind of get around this gear sensor. But I did order a gear sensor, and so if I decide to put it on, or I'm successful at putting on my mountain bike because it has gears, then that will work out. But if I put it on my single speed, I won't need a gear sensor, so I'll just have to kind of tape this up and make sure water doesn't get in it. And so with that, that's pretty much it. So everything kind of ties together. I know how the wires are going to push together. Now I just got to actually lay it out onto the bike. And that will be part 3 of the videos in this particular series of converting one of my bikes to a mid-drive e-bike. So with that, if you liked the video, please hit the like and share button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. That would really help me out. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.